Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back to the channel. And today I am at the legendary Briery Creek Lake here in Farmville, Virginia. And this lake is legendary for some of the biggest bass ever caught in the state. As far as my understanding is, 24 of the 25 largest bass caught in Virginia were caught out of this lake. This is my first time down here actually fishing it. I'm gonna get out on the boat. I'm gonna check it out. And I'm going to go slow because there's a lot of logs and stuff in here. And I got my fish finder on here so I can just take my time so I don't get stuck. Because I came down here and actually looked at it a few months back. Saw a guy get stuck out in the middle of the lake on his boat. And it took him about an hour to get unstuck. So I'm going to be really careful. But hopefully we can get on some fish and make a good video for you guys today. There's a nice breeze. It's fall and it's a really good time to fish. I've got spinnerbait, crankbait. I've got a swim bait tied on. I've got a Z-Man big TRD tied on, and we're gonna fish a lot of this wood because there's trees everywhere. So I'm just gonna kind of pound the banks and pound the wood that I see, and hopefully we get on a few fish. So stay tuned. Let's see how this lake is gonna treat me today for the first time. All right, guys, I gotta tell you, I'm excited and nervous to fish this lake. I hear that you better be prepared to lose tackle, and but it's exciting the same way. The stump stuff scares me. Seeing a guy get stuck, that kind of made me nervous. So I'm gonna take my time. Right now I'm chucking the crankbait. See if we can see any fish first. Wind's blowing good, so it's gonna be definitely some moving bait action, most likely, unless I get into some coves. There's so much great cover here that's like, what do you throw? So we're just gonna work our way around, keep moving, kind of see what happens. Wow, you can see sticks sticking up. It's like trees sticking up everywhere. You definitely gotta be careful in this place. It's like 28 feet deep here. Alright guys, I switched out to a lipless crankbait. I'm gonna let it go down a little bit and try to yo-yo it and see if I can find a fish or two. Because they're about 7-8 feet down. Else's line. Somebody else's line. Braided line too. Let's see his bait. Trying to that tree right there. Wrap up some of this before it takes off of my damn. What the hell? It's trying to take off of my damn first aid kit. Wrap up as much of this as we can. It ends up in somebody's motor. Shit. I see his bait right there. Gotta cut it as best I can. Okay, somebody's braid. Put that out of the way. cut their braid, so I had to deal with that. Try to cruise up in there. I probably could. There's a lot of stumps to navigate with this wind. Just don't think that's the thing to do. Man, there's trees everywhere in this place. I mean, there's stumps everywhere. This is nerve-wracking, honestly. Alright guys, no joy on the crankbait, so I'm gonna throw a jerkbait up in the shower stuff and see if anything. Might as well give it a whirl. Alright guys, I rigged up a bandito bug with my crazy little thing. This gives it like some crazy action in the water. I forget what it's called, but you can reel it. You can let it fall. It causes all kinds of stink out there. So we're gonna chuck this around, see what happens. Because you can jig it too. Let it get in there in the bottom. I think I'm gonna get that spinnerbait going. Alright guys, it's spinnerbait time. Alright guys, I just went over a bunch of fish. I think I'm bumping logs here, but I did. I'm gonna throw the swim bait out and let it go down there. Well guys, I hadn't even gotten a bite. Like, I've seen fish on the graph, they're like deep. Like 20 feet now already in this lake. It's so crazy. And there's stumps freaking everywhere. Alright guys, I got a pearl white slim hooked up on here. Hoping that maybe that'll change my luck a little bit. And I'm just not getting nothing. Switched up to a pearl white because I wasn't getting bit on nothing else. Trying to let it go down a little ways because these fish are sitting at like 20, 26 feet. They're down there. The ones I am seeing. I cannot believe I have not even had a bite. Not even a bite. Not even a smidgen of a nibble. I gotta tell you guys, I was afraid of this. Fishing this lake, there's so much to try to. I'm used to fish in these littler bodies of water, but even Lake Anna, I've been to Lake Anna and I catch fish. Now I'm out here, I've seen them out in that deeper water, but I'm not the best deep water fishing guy. Alright guys, got the Johnson blade bait on. Saw a bunch of fish over here. Well guys, I'm back to a crankbait. Still not getting nothing. I've been just drifting out here in this deeper stuff, letting this wind push me. Trying to see if anything's gonna bite. I'm gonna cut over here, across this cove and work my way around. See what happens. Maybe I should fish this stumpy stuff out here and see what happens, and then work my way over there. Well guys, I'm back to a crankbait. Still not getting nothing. I've been just drifting out here in this deeper stuff, letting this wind push me. Trying to see if anything's gonna bite. I'm gonna cut over here, across this cove and work my way around. See what happens. Maybe I should fish this stumpy stuff out here and see what happens, and then work my way over there. There's a fish that somebody caught and released. Oh, that sucks. That's a bass. It's not doing well. Look at this, guys. I don't know if you guys can see this. Look at this bass right here. He's dying. Yep. Look at that bass. That's a nice bass. Probably a 3-pounder. Somebody let the hook in his mouth. Got it deep. Yeah, he's dying. Beautiful fish though. It sucks. I can't keep him because there's limits on these fish, and this is one that you have to put back. Do you see this? This wasn't one of yours, was it? I said, this wasn't one of yours, was it? Somebody caught this guy and ripped the hook in his mouth. He's dying. I just netted him. He's floating here. That sucks. That's a nice fish. Unfortunately, I can't have him because of the limits. I guarantee you he's not one that you can keep in this lake. Unfortunately, guys, I can't do nothing with him. I have to put him back in the water. That sucks. That sucks. Alright guys, so I just talked to a guy that's been fishing here. I've been watching him fish. He was nice enough to tell me what he was getting fish on. He's throwing a DD10, deeper diving crank. So I don't have a DD10, but I've got a deeper diving crank I'm going to start throwing. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to hit this island over here, and then I come back down here. So I'm going to kind of troll. I got to watch out for the tree stumps. Those tree stumps are crazy. He said he's just winding and cranking. He said he's caught 7, so. And they're down there. I can see them. I'm marking fish. So we just gotta crank and crank until we find something. Well guys, I sacrificed my first bait to this lake. It's a bait I've had for a long time. Now it's gone. Now I'm just trying to find fish. Alright guys, I still haven't caught anything. There's so many damn trees. Alright guys, I'm at a loss. I figured a crankbait or something would be tearing it up in here. But I am just at a loss. Alright guys, this lake is crazy. You can get stuck really easy on this lake. I mean, this is crazy. Alright guys, I'm throwing everything in the book at them. Even I'm getting ready to throw a map spinner, which I'll probably lose, but I'm chuck it anyway. I can't even believe I haven't had a bite. Like, not even a bite. Well, guys, we're going to throw some Ned rig action. I just don't know what else to pitch. Maybe something's hanging out underneath these trees or something. Alright, guys, I got a Deal Color Z-Man Slim swimming on. I ditched the white one. We're going to toss that around some. We're going to work our way over to the rocks, work our way back around. Probably call it a day, because I haven't got any bites. Now, the guy I talked to said he caught 7 just all on crankbait. Now, I lost one crankbait, and I've been throwing another, but I'm not getting any bites on it, so crankbait bite's not working. I'm throwing lipless now. I was throwing a regular crank, I wasn't getting anything. Usually the slim gets hammered. Usually you can toss that and guarantee some fish with this. But not at this place. Doesn't seem like. Back to the good old blade bait. See what happens. Oh, and I got a fish finally. What we got? I think we got a bass. Oh, now he's digging. Alright, we got our first freaking bass of the day. Didn't get skunked, thank goodness. On a blade bait. Stop. Alright, everybody. He's not a tank by no means, but we didn't get skunked on Briery Creek. We got us a bass finally. First one. Whew. That was crazy. I've been fishing for a while, trying to find a fish. Now I got one. Alright, everybody. He's not a stud, but he's my first one. See you, bud. Finally got a bite. Finally. Finally. He's about 8 to 10 foot of water. I guess you just had to get the right fish right in front of his face. Make it happen. Seeing if there was any more hanging out here. Alright, guys, I am working my way back home. Trying to find some fish in the process. Not sure if that's going to work. Alright, everybody, I am back at home, and holy cow, I feel defeated. I have never felt defeated by a body of water before in my life, but I gotta say, Briery Creek kicked my ass. That is a tough body of water to fish. Holy cow. First of all, you can't even concentrate on fishing because there's so many damn stumps there. I'm going to turn this camera a little bit. There's so many damn stumps in the water that you're more worried about running over stumps and poking a hole in your boat or freaking flipping your boat or anything of the such or getting stuck on a log than you can to concentrate on fish, because even when you're just trying to let the wind blow you and concentrate, there's so many logs and trees and everything in the water that you're spending more time looking for that than you can focusing on making good casts and trying to catch fish. I mean, it is hazardous, to say the least. That body of water is hazardous. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I was excited to fish it, but I was a little nervous to fish it too, and that's why. It was crazy. Like, I spent more time dodging logs and dodging trees that were sticking up in the water that literally you cannot see because they're black, and they literally match the color of the water, so you can't see them until you're literally hitting them. I mean, I was looking as hard as I could, making sure I could dodge everything I could, and you still would run over something. It was crazy, and it would push my boat up really high, so it was crazy, just crazy. So that was nerve-wracking, to say the least, to deal with that. And I fished in a lot of rivers and stuff, and never felt as nervous on the rivers as I did fishing that body of water today. It was crazy. The fish were deep. The fish were anywhere from like 7 foot to like 20 feet deep. And I marked a lot of them. I saw tons of them on my graph. I saw fish everywhere. But trying to get them to bite was impossible. Like, I had one bite, and the one bite that I had was the one fish that I caught. I talked to a guy that had been fishing there. He'd been there before since I got there, and he said he'd caught 7. So he said on a crankbait, on a DC-10, throwing it real deep, is how he caught all his fish. It's obviously a very deep lake because it was like 30 foot or better. It's anywhere from 28 to 30 foot on average everywhere I was. Now, it does go up, like, it's crazy because, like, in the middle of the lake, it'll go up to like 10 foot. And so it has these deep crevices, and then it goes up to like 10 foot or 7 foot or 9 foot. It's really crazy. It's like the craziest body of water I've ever been on. You know, I used to go fish Lake Anna, and I could actually catch some fish, but man, this one's got me stumped. Like, I wasn't sure where to start in the first place, so I just figured I'd try to pound the banks, but there's no pounding the banks there. It just doesn't work. I didn't, like, when I was trying to pound the banks, I didn't hardly graph a fish doing that. Not one. But as soon as I went out in the deeper water and went out towards the middle of the lake, that's where I was seeing all the fish on the graph. So those fish are out there in that deeper water, in that, 7 to 20 some foot range down to, 3 foot. They're in that deeper water because there's so much structure. There's trees everywhere. There's structure everywhere. So they can hold on this deeper stuff and still have protection and still ambush. It's crazy. So trying to find a good, like, area that you can just comb on is just going to be hard. It's going to take me a while to figure out that lake. And it was nerve-wracking. Like, the trees are nerve-wracking. I got to tell you, there's a few times I was like, oh, am I going to get off this thing or not? It was kind of crazy. And then to come across that big 3-pound bass, it was about 2.5, 3-pound bass that was dying because somebody gut hooked him, just killed me to see that, And that body of water has a slot limit, so anything from 15 to 20 inches you're not allowed to keep. You can keep them only a certain amount under and only one over 20 inches, or 15 to 21 inches, I think is what the slot limit is. 15 to 20 or 15 to 21, something like that. So it's a really good slot limit. It allows them to have good sized fish, but the problem is that fish was in that slot limit size, and there's nothing I could do for it. And if I'd been caught with it, if I tried to take it home and been caught with it, I'd have gotten in trouble. So I wasn't the one that caught it. I was the one that did that to it. So I always carry a pair of snips with me. So if that ever happens when I'm fishing with a worm, I can just try to snip the barb and snip the thing as much down as I can, and then let the fish go. And usually it can get it out, or it'll rust out. So anyway, it was crazy. That body of water scares me. I fished a lot of river fishing and never been as nervous as I was fishing that body of water because all the dang stumps and trees and everything. It's pretty crazy. I had gone and scouted it out a couple months ago and literally saw a guy that was on a john boat, and he got stuck on a log out in the middle, and he was stuck there for like 45 minutes trying to get off of it. So that's what made me nervous in the first place, because I went and checked it out, a couple months ago, and I was like, this is going to be interesting. And it sure was. It literally kind of went the way I thought it was going to go. But it's crazy. I mean, so I'm not going to let it defeat me, but I gotta do some more research to figure out what's going to work to catch them. And if you're fishing deep, the thing that sucks about trying to fish for the fish that are deep is that it's a sunken forest. They literally flooded a forest. So there's trees everywhere, so you're going to lose baits. I got hung up tons of times, and I lost one bait today. I lost a really good crankbait today, and I got hung up probably 5 or 6 times easy, if not more than that. I mean, I got hung up a bunch of times, and I was lucky enough to get it off. But I mean, it's like snag central there. So I remember seeing a video somebody had posted about fishing there, and I said, if you fish there, you're going to lose a lot of tackle. And that's the truth. You're going to lose a lot of tackle. I mean, I lost tackle today. So, yeah, not the best video, but I did catch one fish, and we're just going to have to see how it goes. Now, Sandy Creek is not far from me as well, and I think that's going to be in the next place I try and see what I think about that. So that'll be the next time I get a chance to get out and fish. But, yeah, that was my first experience on Briery Creek. A little crazy. It's a beautiful lake, though. I mean, it's really pretty, but it was a little crazy. So anybody that follows me, if you guys have fished there and done well, if you could leave some comments, what baits you're using, what time of year you were fishing, anything useful, anything would help me out greatly to kind of figure out that body of water. I'd really appreciate it. So anybody that's actually fished there, please throw some hints my way, or throw some suggestions my way about it, because all the stuff that I normally catch fish on, I mean, I went back to the blade bait, that's what did it, but all the stuff I usually throw this time of year, it wasn't getting bit. Even the crankbaits, I wasn't getting bit on them. I didn't get one bite on a crankbait, nothing. I got snagged and lost a crankbait, but I didn't get anything on it. But anyway, that's my video, guys. That's what I did. Briery Creek kicked my ass. It happens. It hasn't happened to me often, and it hasn't happened in a long time, but I didn't get skunked. I did catch one fish, but it was rough. It was rough. So I hope you guys at least enjoyed the video, enjoyed the scenery. I hope it was a little entertaining for you, and do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe button down there, because that actually, the like and subscribe button actually helps a whole lot. It helps the channel a whole lot, and that's all I got for you guys. And the only other thing I got to say is just do yourself a favor, get out there, get your lines wet, and catch some fish.